Welcome back to County Connection. For this segment, we are going to talk about how you can recycle your electronics and other difficult to dispose of items. And with me is Byrne, who is the director of the Summit County Resource Allocation Park, or colloquially known as the landfill. But you guys do a lot more up there than just landfill. You have a recycling facility, you've got composting, and a whole lot of other activities. So thanks for coming today, Aaron.
Thank you for having me, Julie.
All right, so for context, in November, Summit County voters passed Ballot Measure 1A, and this provided funding for a number of different emergency services throughout the county, as well as water quality protections, and that's where you come in on the water quality side. And so there are both the historic water quality threats from all the old mining activities that happened about a century or more ago, and then also the modern day threats. And so we're talking here about, why don't you actually talk about some of the kinds of waste that you see at the landfill that could potentially pose a threat to our water quality?
Well, thank you, Julie. Yes, we, well, as everyone knows, there's all kinds of waste that we receive at the landfill. And our goal is to really protect all these waterways, and water quality is to keep the harmful, hazardous items out of the landfill. And back in July 1st, 2013, Colorado CDPHE passed a ban on e-waste going into landfills, and this is probably one of the best things that's happened in legislature for a long time. And we're for the e-waste. One of the things that we really look at is, pulling those things out of the landfill to prevent, potential risks to soils or any kind of the groundwater, anything beneath the landfill. So by diverting those materials out of the landfill is a huge benefit to the community and to us as operators for the landfill.
Excellent. So we kicked off this program in late January.
Yes.
And so tell us about the big kickoff event.
Well, the first inaugural event was a huge success. I can't I know all of us, we can't thank Summit County residents and property owners for just taking part in this program. I mean, it was a huge success. We had a huge turnout. We ended up getting 620 vehicles on January 31st.
Amazing.
Yes, between 8 and 12, and it was just a huge success. We ended up recycling 45 tons of e-waste.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. I was looking at some figures today, and I was actually talking to some folks down in Denver, and I believe we're close to 30,000 residents here in Summit County, and we diverted 90,000 pounds from the landfill, which breaks down to 3 pounds per household. And to really look at, I mean, put that into perspective, that's a large amount just for Summit County here.
Definitely. And so we're talking TVs, computers, cell phones, stereo equipment, all the accessories. All
those things. The best way to describe it, I think, is anything that has a circuit board with circuitry that plugs into a wall. It's there's a lot of information. The e-waste regs specify certain things, but really what it comes down to is if it has a circuit board, it's considered e-waste.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, so we between the laptops and the computers and TVs and stereo equipment, and then with something that is considered that does have a circuit board in it, we also go to the next step if it's got batteries in it, or because those are things too that we want to keep out of the landfill.
Right. And I actually came at towards the tail end of the event thinking I would take some quick pictures of all the piles, and my gosh, I pulled out onto Highway 9 and there was still a huge line of people. Which the traffic situation was a little bit of a challenge, but it was certainly great to see what a tremendous turnout it was, and to see Summit County's commitment to protecting our waterways and our environment by making sure that these items get recycled. Yeah,
special big thanks for all the community that took part in this event, the volunteers that really, I mean, without the volunteers, we were over our heads in e-waste, and it just kept coming in and kept coming in, and we had volunteers and HC3 and the outreach, and you and the outreach, and you did a good job, Julie.
Thank you. Happy to help.
Yeah. But everyone that helped out, they stuck in there and just really did a great job. So we're very thankful. We have a great community that really cares, and we appreciate it. So.
Excellent. And then electronics weren't the only kind of waste that you accepted at the event.
We also accepted pharmaceuticals. And I have to say, I'm so glad we had that program, that Take Back program that day, because we had the Summit County Sheriff's Department there as well. And they were a huge help in just helping with the event. And we also, during that pharmaceutical Take Back, received 100 pounds of pharmaceuticals, which is huge.
Right. You think, I mean, a bottle of pills doesn't weigh that much.
Right,
so.
Right, yeah.
But 100 pounds is a lot.
It is. So with them there and just helping with the flow of traffic and everything, it was just it was a huge team effort. So
right. They really doubled down.
They did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
And I think that is really great because there aren't places, at least yet, where places are available year-round to dispose, particularly those narcotics.
Right.
And so having an event like this is really great to be able to get those out of people's medicine cabinets so that they're not putting them in the landfill or sending them down the toilet into our wastewater system. Or leaving them open to the possibility of abuse and getting into the wrong hands.
That's right. That's right.
So we've talked a lot about the throngs of people who showed up. So we realized there's quite a demand out there. Yeah. So what's coming up next in response to that demand that we've newly learned about?
Well, thank you, Summit County residents. We will have another event here in March, and I think this will be it's going to be a huge benefit to be able to have an event this close. You know, just coinciding with the last event that we just had. Our next event is March 14th. On Saturday, 8 to noon.
Okay, great.
So we're excited. Same location over at the County Commons Summit Stage Bus Barn, next to the County Commons.
Right.
And
so right there in Frisco.
Correct. And we're going to amp up on staff and prepare for higher volumes or as high volumes. And we actually, I was fortunate enough yesterday to go down to ERI and meet with those guys and get a good pulse on their operations. And
they're the folks who actually are taking all that electronic waste down.
Electronic Recyclers International.
Okay, and so what was it like looking at their facilities and seeing what happens once it leaves us?
Well, it really put things into perspective for me because, you know, what we deal with here in Summit County and through scrap, and to go down and look at their facility, they have a 150,000 square foot facility, and the floor space is huge, and there was e-waste from one end to the other, and they have just the process of their dismantling the e-waste and handling it properly and just giving us that security knowing that everything is destructed, recycled, and handled properly. And it was just reassuring to us to know with all their certifications that they hold for the R2, the E-Stewart, it just really gave us that sense of, you know, we know that we're taking this material to the proper place and it's being handled properly.
Right, and we know that it's not going overseas and ending up poisoning communities halfway around the globe, and that it really is being recycled into new materials right here in Colorado, actually.
Yep.
So that's great.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about some of those materials inside electronics and what are the ones of concern and why is it important to keep that out of the landfill?
A lot of these e-waste with the circuitry, the hard drives, the panels inside there, you know, there's a lot of different constituents, different heavy metals. You know, we have lead, we have silvers, we have the older computers, the CPUs, you know, consisted of mercury products. So all of those heavy metals, it's very important, you know, to keep those out of the landfill, keep them out of that waste stream and recycle them properly. You know, if they're handled properly, all those heavy metals can be recycled or reused. And that's very important. And it's just very important to us as, you know, scrap running a landfill to keep all those e-waste items out of the landfill. It's a huge benefit to us, the community, and just really, you know, and now that the e-waste ban went in effect in July 2013, it's very important for us to follow those guidelines.
Right. So. Yeah, and then not only is that stuff not posing a risk to our water supplies, but also all the extraction activities that took that stuff out of the ground in the first place, it's great that they're able to be reused into new products.
Yep.
All right, so so now that we've kind of gotten the initial glut of electronics out there, maybe people were hanging on to those huge old TVs and wondering what the heck to do with them. So now we're expecting that we've taken care of some of that pent-up demand, if you will. So you guys are now accepting them during regular business hours at the landfill up at the scrap.
Correct. Yes, we're accepting all e-waste material Monday through Friday, 7 to 4. So please bring your material to us. We would love to see that. You know, we're more than happy to accept it at the events as well, but we can handle that material at the landfill as well. So any commercial or property owners that have large volumes, all we ask is that they would call us in advance to schedule an appointment. And but it's free of charge, and it can be brought to the landfill, brought to scrap Monday through Friday. So
perfect. And then as we look further ahead into the spring in May, we don't have the date set yet, but we're looking for yet another event that will again be at a central location for folks, most likely on a Saturday again. And then this one will be accepting household hazardous waste.
HHW, correct.
Okay, so what's the scoop on that?
So one of our main focuses, and it is illegal to dispose of HHW in landfills.
Okay, and so define that for
household
folks.
Hazardous waste, and we have a program at scrap Monday through Friday, currently 7 to 4, and that material can be brought into the landfill or into scrap, and we have 2 or 3 different companies that we contract out. We bulk the material on site, and then we dispose of it properly, recycle, reuse, but all that material can come to scrap as well.
And so what are some of the examples of these types of waste?
So any kind of paint, latex, liquid fuels, we see all kinds of stuff from household, user products, you know, cleansers, different things. So any of that stuff can come to scrap during the week.
Great, and which is also stuff that you don't want either in the landfill or going down the drain.
That's correct. That's
or
correct.
in stormwater drains or anything like that.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, great. And so I know that you guys are doing some training and ramping up to be able to handle larger volumes of that type of waste, and then and so encouraging people to kind of wait till that spring cleanup time and bring it to the event in May.
That's correct.
And then the doors are wide open after that point to bring them up to you guys directly. After
May 23rd. May 23rd will be the day that we open up. That will be our first Saturday opening.
Okay.
So 7 to noon. So we will be open Monday through Friday, 7 to 4. Okay. And then Saturday, 7 to noon. So May 23rd will be our grand opening for Saturday. So this will be a huge benefit. It's been years since we've been open on Saturdays, and we know that a lot of folks in Summit County are not able to come up during regular business hours because people are working. So we encourage those folks to come by and take advantage of these hours and come up on Saturdays, and from that Saturday forward, we'll be accepting all the e-waste, all the HHW free,
all at no charge,
all at no charge, and come up and buy some compost as well.
Right. Well, that's the other thing, is that these Saturday hours won't be just for collection of these special kinds of waste, but they'll be able to get some Summit County gold while they're out there.
That's right. Exactly.
Do you want to give a quick description of the compost program?
Yeah. So we're in the process of getting materials ready for spring, so everybody, to add those nutrients and everything to their gardens and give them a wake-up call. So we got several products available. We got our High Country Compost, Summit County Gold, that everybody uses to mend their gardens and lawns, and so we got a lot of product available on site, and please come up and purchase some. It's be good timing. So.
Fantastic. And so to get back to the March 14th event, I know we're recruiting lots of volunteers, and folks can get in touch with High Country Conservation Center.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yep,
okay.
Correct. Yep.
And they're at highcountryconservation.org. And then do you recall their phone number offhand?
I do not. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'm sure that through the magic of television, we'll be able to pop that up on the screen for you as well. And High Country Conservation Center, we should mention that they're such a great partner of ours, right?
They are, and they've done over the years, they've done a great job for us. And these events, you know, they got the resources and the connections, and to be able to reach out to the community and really, you know, let people know what we're doing and just help with the education. And we really appreciate HC3. So they've done a great job for our operation. They're a key part, they're a great part of the team. So
yeah, and you see them at events all throughout the county, managing zero waste stations. And yeah, so if you see them out there, go hug a recycler.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. So.
For the great work that they do.
Yeah.
And then if you are interested in information on any of these programs or learning more about electronics waste, household hazardous waste, the prescriptions, all these different items, then they provide all that information and education as well.
That's correct, yes.
All right, great. Well, do you have anything to add about our new special waste efforts in Summit County?
No, I just thank you, Summit County residents, property owners. It was good to see everybody out there and just partaking in this program and just supporting the community. So it's a team effort, and we're just very thankful to be able to have another one, and we're excited, and we're ready for the next one, so come see us.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks very much, Aaron.
Thank you, Julie.
And stick with us. We are going to take a quick break, and we will come back and talk with the folks at Summit County Ambulance Service and Lake Dillon Fire.